I think that where it becomes activism is overcoming those barriers to access, as healthcare is a human right. And I think a lot of us feel disempowered in healthcare spaces. And so what we do is really specialize in cultivating that sense of validation and belonging.
Welcome to the SOMO Cowork Member Spotlight. Today I'm so excited to be joined by Jocelyn Boreta. She is a co-founder of the Botanical Bus, located right here at SOMO Cowork. Jocelyn is a community organizer, a herbalist, granddaughter of an Indigenous farm worker, and the Botanical Bus is a bilingual mobile herb clinic that's based right here. So Jocelyn, thank you so much for being here, and I'd love to just start with a small joy, something that's really bringing you happiness and grounding at this time.
I love the change of season. I love the rain that's upon us right now. I really love the way, one of my favorite moments in time is after that first rain where the earth is still wet and everything feels so alive. So this is my time of year. I love the rain.
That's beautiful. I love the fall season as well. It's a really beautiful transition. So your journey bridges activism, herbalism, and cultural healing, and I'd love to hear what first inspired you to connect these worlds and dedicate your work to community-based wellness.
Well, it was when my daughter was born. It was the ultimate new beginning, the birth of a new human being and the birth of myself as a mother, and I felt so committed in those moments to trusting myself and my community networks, and how was I going to care for myself in these tender moments? How was I going to care for my child? And both of my grandmothers were passed away at this point. I had lots of support from my family, but I was looking out into the community, and at that time I found amazing community at Bayer Farm in Santa Rosa, which is where we started gathering a group of women, all Indigenous, Latina women, immigrant women in that community garden space, just sharing immense cultural wealth, knowledge of the plants, connection to each other. And I was just there learning and connecting and feeling so nourished by that network of women who have taken care of each other. And with having my baby daughter there, she was just newborn, and we were also, we were celebrating passages in all ages, so we had all generations there, and it was a really nurturing place for me. And so those are the same women who founded the Botanical Bus. I'm a co-founder, and that same circle of women, it's really a grassroots organization and project that now serves the community that we feel we belong to.
That's amazing. And I mean, it's something that I think is such a dream to have that collaboration and community, and, it takes a village and bringing all that wisdom together. And how has that come together now? So from starting out in that small grassroots farm, what would you say has changed the most to where you are today?
Well, the programs were born there by the women who birthed them there in the community garden. And we started with wellness workshops. So healing circles, wellness workshops that we found partners throughout the community, organizations that include La Plaza, Nuestra Cultura Cura, Corazon Healdsburg, La Luz Center. These are hubs for the Latina and Indigenous community that we serve, where the wraparound resources are available, and most importantly, where people feel they can access what they need. And for us in these moments when the immigrant community is actually facing pretty acute oppression due to federal immigration policies, we find that immigrants face barriers to accessing healthcare services. For clients of Botanical Bus, those primary barriers to access are language, trust, and transportation. And so that's, this group of immigrant women, we launched a mobile clinic with the idea that we were going to meet our people where they were at. And the second, so that's that mobility piece, yes. Overcoming the transportation barrier. But next, that trust piece is really important, and I think where Herbalism comes in is our clinic specializes in culturally centered healthcare. And so earth-based medicine, herbal medicine, food as medicine, nutrition. These are elements that we believe connect us to our identities, and most importantly in the immigrant community, our sense of belonging. And so we feel that just honoring that, the amazing history of working with herbal medicine and nutrition in Latina, Indigenous, immigrant communities is the place to start in healing justice, really, in healing justice work. And I think that my history as a community organizer and activist, when I stepped into that community space, or was when I was welcomed into this community space, I just thought it was so ripe for potential because of this amazing cultural wealth and knowledge of herbal medicine and nutrition, in which the Latina Indigenous community is really thriving, paired with really critical health disparity. So 3 of 5 Botanical Bus clients do not access primary care at health clinics. And so really seeing this as an amazing moment and to take critical action for wellness in the communities that we work.
Such powerful work that you're doing.
Thank you.
Awesome. And, you've said this phrase, herbalism is activism, and I'd love for you to maybe just even go more into what that means and how you're able to integrate and embody that into the work you do.
Yeah. So kind of returning to this, as my daughter was born, I was studying herbalism. I had been doing organizing work for human rights organization. And I noticed actually in that work as well, we would go travel internationally and we were doing economic justice work. And I would notice in communities around the world that really what connected people to their own sense of well-being and their sense of belonging came in these medicine gardens, or growing their own food, growing their own medicine, being close to the sustenance and a sense of purpose that's attached to that. And so I wanted to study herbalism just for myself. And so I went to California School of Herbal Studies, studied, became certified as a clinical herbalist. And I think that where it becomes activism is overcoming those barriers to access, as healthcare is a human right. And I think a lot of us, even if we don't belong to a marginalized community, if we have white privilege, we feel disempowered in healthcare spaces. Sometimes there isn't enough sense of validation in healthcare settings. And so what we do is really specialize in cultivating that sense of validation and belonging and learning about how we can take care of ourselves in community with the plants that are growing around us, with the food that maybe is, we have traditional recipes that we know nourish us. I think just some examples of that, of really accessible herbal medicine, is rosemary. So it's almost in a hedge anywhere any corner you round, or you could find a hedge of rosemary. And even just the somatic experiencing of the rosemary, when I say that, it's like the smell, like the waxy leaves, it's like a really robust, strong plant that sends out this really strong essential oil. And romero in Spanish is long been used as a medicinal herb for increasing circulation, helping with memory, lightening the mood, helping with depression. And just like that the accessibility of that medicine and the remembering that it's a part of our identity and who we are is so empowering. It's been empowering for me as a new mom. Actually, just mentioning rosemary, those moments of extreme exhaustion that come around 3 p.m. My daughter's 10 now, so I can look back. But like the power of inhaling a big, in Spanish we call it rama, like a little branch of rosemary, it's really effective. And it also makes you feel like, hey, I'm in control of this. Like, I have this access to this plant that's helping me in this moment. And I think we all have really similar relationships to food as well. So gathering together, eating together, we all know that that's like the power of connectivity, is enjoying food together. And I think also one of the groups that we started, the Botanical Bus, is called Presente para Nutrirnos, which translates to present to nourish ourselves. And it's formally a type 2 diabetes prevention and care program. And it's launched by Juliana Jimenez, who works here at SOMO and identifies as a Latina Indigenous immigrant woman. She started the program because her father died from type 2 diabetes. And she had this urgent need to connect with her community around and really celebrate the foods that our cultural heritage and that are actually incredibly effective at preventing type 2 diabetes. So in that series, every month we eat a meal created with a whole accessible food. So we celebrate, the simplest foods from beans and corn to even more really interesting foods like guajes, which is a kind of seed that grows in trees all around here, actually, in these acacia trees. And the guaje seed is traditionally prepared in soups and salsas, and it has the same properties as a flax seed. So it's incredibly nutrient dense and can be is traditionally incorporated into our diets. Another example is nopales, or prickly pear cactus, which directly decreases blood sugar levels and is a celebrated part of Latin Indigenous cultures. And so that's that moment where, yes, we're facing type 2 diabetes epidemic in our Indigenous communities through the celebration of tradition and cultural wealth and the resources that are available to us.
That's so special and just so needed. And I also really love that you highlight how many things are right at our fingertips. I think there's such a focus on herbs and supplements from this idea that you have to outsource from somewhere really far away or get these things that are shipped to you in a little box or a pill bottle, but you're just kind of explaining like the trees growing outside or the rosemary hedge like near your house. Like you can see all these things that are medicine right around you and looking at what's maybe local. And I'd love if you could just even elaborate a little more on maybe anyone who doesn't really know where to start with herbs. What are some ways they can start to work with them and get more kind of accustomed to connecting with their food as medicine in that way?
Yeah. The first, I think, the way that my relationship with herbal medicine opened up is really a mental health journey. So I think that your nervous system is a really great place to start with herbal medicine. Herbal medicine is incredibly effective at calming the nervous system and also at stimulating it. Anyone who's of doubt of that could drink a cup of coffee and understand that there are plants that stimulate the nervous system and also plants that calm the nervous system really effectively. And I think that though a lot of those medicines can just like really complement our practices, they can help us sleep, they can help us get through hard days. And I think forming relationships with herbal medicine, simple herbal medicine like chamomile, lemon balm, skullcap, different herbs that are available in tea form. I also really appreciate tea as a really beautiful way to just establish a relationship with herbal medicine. And I think what unites actually, it's focusing on our mental health and our ability to calm a nervous system most of our nervous systems are on overdrive all day long in the cultures we live in. And so just becoming more cognizant of that together with the community, using herbal medicine as a tool to talk about it. And I think also through that process in this clinical space, we do have this clinical space where we have 1,200 clients. We have 30 clinics a year. So we are doing this in a clinical way. We have a bus that has over 100 dried herbs and a tincture bar of 60 simple herbs, and a really highly trained team of over 100 practitioners, licensed certified healthcare practitioners who practice with us. That being said, it feels as simple as going outside. Like, I think what unites us all and what really makes a team at the Botanical Bus, we have 9 staff and over 100 volunteers. But the 9 staff who come in and out of this shared office space, we love working with each other. We love each other because we all have one thing in common, which is knowing that we can immediately feel better if we go outside. Mm-hmm. If we go outside, if we lay down on that big patch of grass that's right outside this office place just for a little while, if, that connection that I think a lot of us have lost through our busy lifestyles is that connection to earth and our power to heal ourselves in relationship to her. And so that feels really simple. If you want to get into herbal medicine, go outside.
I love it.
Their plants are everywhere.
And like, how easy is that, especially if you have access like somewhere like here where you can just go walk outside and do a team meeting in the grass or by the redwood trees. It's like, why not use that space and take that time? I love that. And, so you've mentioned a little bit being here at SOMO, and we are so honored to have you here in this space. And I'd love to just hear in your own words, how has SOMO Cowork made an impact on your day-to-day life being a part of this space?
SOMO Cowork is such a healthy place to work. I think that the first thing is the light, the big windows, and the huge views out to the Sonoma Mountains. I feel like my heart is lifted in this space. It's so light and it's like spacious. Like I feel like I have the space to think. It's calming, quiet, and my plants love it. I'm taking care of a bunch of office plants, and they're happy here. And also all the plants around here. It feels really alive and vital and nourishing. And I also just joined the gym, which is also just downstairs. And what a beautiful opportunity. Sauna, cold plunge. It's like just to be able to escape on a lunch break to take care of myself in that way. It's the first time in my professional experience that I've gone to the gym like that. So
That's
it's
amazing.
making it accessible for me, which is amazing.
Yeah, and SOMO is amazing, all those different resources. So I'm so glad you're enjoying both SOMO Cowork and SOMO Fit. And it's, all about building that healthy work-life balance. Absolutely. Well, thank you so much for your time today. I feel like there's so much more I would want to ask you, but how can people find your work, learn more about you, and maybe whether it's supporting you, donations, or volunteering, what are some ways people can connect and where can they find you?
Yeah, absolutely. So we are local. We are Sonoma County nonprofit organization. The mobile clinic is in Santa Rosa, Sonoma Valley, Petaluma, Point Reyes, and Bolinas. And our offices are here in Rohnert Park. And come knock if you're here in the shared space. You can also find us on the web, of course, at www.thebotanicalbus.org. We're also on Instagram at botanical.bus. And there you can see all the beautiful photos of the team that's so much bigger than me. And donating is 100% the way to support our work. We are a small grassroots organization in our 5th year of operation. So we're always looking for people to join our care circle by donating to the work we're doing. And also volunteers. I mentioned that we have over 100 volunteers. It is a specialized volunteer position for integrative health practitioners who are licensed and certified, or those who can provide language interpretation services from Spanish to English. Both ways. So please, follow us on social media and support our work and come say hi.
Thank you so much. We're just so honored to have you in the space and all the beautiful work you're doing. So thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks so much for listening to this episode of the SOMO Cowork Member Spotlight. We hope you enjoyed it and stay tuned for future conversations with the incredible members of our community. See you next time.